actually get into
Yeah,
this
I'm
podcasting.
good to go. Yeah.
All right, stop yelling.
Okay.
All right. And we are back. Welcome in to the JazzNation podcast. This is the return. It's been a minute. I think it's been about 5 months since we last did this.
That's right.
But we're back, not only in audio form, that our beautiful voices that you can hear through your ears right now or your speakers, but also in visual form. That's right. We're now, we've caught up with technology, kind of, and we're now on the YouTube. You can catch us
YouTube.
We're live streaming right now for the draft lottery tonight, but if you're listening to this later, we have a channel and you can watch the videos on there. I'm not sure. I don't think you can search JazzNation podcast. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how the hell you'll find us on there, but
JazzNation News.
There's a link there for that, because you can find, let's see, let me gather this to say where we're at on everything at this point.
I'm going to get a drink while you do this.
We're on YouTube now. We're on the Facebook, the original page. We're on the Twitter. We're on Instagram, the TikTok. We're on the TikTok. I got to say, the TikTok is doing good lately. Shout out to all you TikTok followers. Appreciate that. You can find the links for all these pages in one simple spot. Just go to linktree.com/JazzNation News. And for all those newcomers that have no idea who this other person is that's on here with me, he is what we call the assistant to the host. Oh, by the way, I'm the host. My name's Daniel. I forgot to mention, I'm the admin of all those JazzNation pages that you're following on all those pages. So if you're wondering who this guy is that's talking, wearing a John Deere hat, that's me. I'm Daniel. I'm the guy that runs all those pages. The guy talking over there in the other box somewhere else, his name is Will Wonder.
Yes.
He is the non-jazz fan of the podcast.
Right.
He's here to kind of keep some sense in me and any other jazz fans that are on here. How's it going, Will Wonder? It's been a minute.
It's been a long time. I'm good. I've been enjoying, in a sense, trolling, not necessarily trolling, but debating jazz fans on Twitter that follow your page. It's been fun. And I'm excited for this, for the lottery today. Like I said, I'm a Magic fan. I have some skin in the game, but I would love for your Jazz to get a good pick.
Yeah. So it's man. So like I said, before we started recording, I feel so embarrassed because I'm so.
As you should.
Where I'm at recording is, I call it my home office area, and I don't have a TV hooked up in here. And I literally realized this 5 minutes before we started recording. I'm like, oh crap, how the hell am I going to watch the lottery? So at this current moment,
for next time, just ask Ryan to send you one. He's got the hook up.
Yeah, I'll pull it up on the old phone if I can figure that out. Honestly, though, maybe it'll be. You know what? No, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you just tell me. You have it up there.
Got it. I got it above.
Yes. And you can just be like, da-na-na, da-na-na, and break some news. If we did get, if we're stuck at 9, hopefully didn't fall to 10. Yeah. Anyway, so it's draft lottery night. We thought this was the perfect night to bring the podcast back to, start the video channel. And there's been some other exciting things that happened today for JazzNation. If you didn't notice, we have some new logos going on. I want to give a special shout out to the person that helped design these for me. Her name is Kes, K-E-S. You can find her on Instagram at kes.nlsn if you need some logo work done or branding or whatever. But she helped me out with those. Very much appreciate that. I would say the feedback's been pretty positive on the new logos today. I mean, people, of course, love the mountain color logos more than the yellow, I understand. But, that's the jazz colors right now. I gotta kind of go along with the jazz colors, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Mr. Non-Jazz fan? What is your thoughts on them?
I like them. You and I have gone back and forth quite a bit about these, but I do. I don't love the yellow one, just the color scheme, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think they both look good. By the way, draft lottery starts in 5 seconds from what my TV's telling me.
Woo, but it's not actually going to start then, but it's still exciting. But I appreciate the update. So, since we're doing some draft lottery, we might as well talk about the draft lottery in the Utah Jazz. So, as many of you listening right now know, the Jazz currently are in the 9th spot, but have an opportunity to move up, or I guess even technically move down one spot. Let's hope not. So here I'm going to get really geeky on everyone and give you the percentages for the Utah Jazz on this, why things are getting underway here. So for the number 14th pick, the Jazz have a 0% chance of going to there. The number 13th pick, the Jazz have a 0% chance. The 12th pick, the Jazz have a 0.1% chance. Ugh, not good. But for the 11th pick, the Jazz have a 3.0% chance. Ugh.
There you go.
But even worse, the Jazz at the number 10 pick have a 25.9% chance. Ugh. Which is weird because that's an even bigger percentage than them just staying. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I'm so dumb.
No,
Sorry.
no, it's not. Yeah,
I just realized that. So the Jazz at the 9th pick have a 50.7% chance of staying there. Correct. Now, here's where things get kind of weird, and maybe you can help understand this and explain it to, because I've tried to understand this, and I feel even can't understand it. The Jazz have 0% chance of getting the 8th, 7th, 6th, and 5th pick. Mm-hmm. Can you quickly explain how that is?
Well,
or do you know?
Mathematics-wise, if you look at the other teams that have chances to get those picks, those percentages equal to 100%, I believe. So, in a sense,
you don't know
Jazz don't have a chance.
So,
if you look at Detroit, Houston, San Antonio, Charlotte, Portland, and Orlando doesn't have a chance to get the 5th. But if you look at that, that's why.
Well, I mean, I watched some geeky video today, and I guess the official reasoning is that it's only the top 4 picks that are lotto chancings. Right. Yep. Those other ones below it are all determined by, the teams that are in those spots, like the Jazz with the 9th. So that's still kind of confusing, I understand, but it is what it is. So basically, in a long version or a short version, if we do not hear the Jazz at the 10th or 9th spot, that means they have automatically moved into the 4th spot, at least. So the Jazz have a 5.7% chance of moving into the 4th spot. The Jazz have a 5.2% chance of moving into the 3rd spot. The Jazz have a 4.8% chance of moving to the 2nd spot. And the lady luck chance of it all, the Jazz have a 4.5% chance of moving into the number 1 pick. Right. Insert the meme from Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying we have a chance, because we've all have seen that a million times now. So I know you're somewhat of a betting man. We do live in Utah where you're not supposed to bet, wink, wink. But if you were a betting man, what would you put your money on for the Jazz? Do you think they are staying in 9th?
Well, if I'm betting on it, 9. That's the best odds right there. It would be cool for them to fall in the top 3. I mean, obviously, everyone and their mom wants Victor Wembanyama. Everyone knows who he is. But 2 and 3, those guys that are going to go there, no slouches either. And I think they're going to help any team that gets them. So, but yeah, if I'm going to bet, I'm staying right there at 9 for Utah.
Also, another kind of nerdy stat that kind of sucks for the Jazz. The Jazz have never, ever moved up in a lottery spot like that.
Wow, really?
Ever moved up like that. It's always, they've obviously probably moved back or have just stayed in the spots they were kind of supposed to have. Obviously, and they've traded up when they've gotten to the draft and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But so
here's the thing with the Jazz is they don't spend a lot of time in the lottery. So
exactly, that's the other thing. I mean, we're not like the Orlando
This is my
Magic.
Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, I really don't know how you do this. This is okay. Here's something else I wanted to share. So how's it going with the lottery right now? They're just chatting.
Right now they're just talking about the different teams. We're good. They've shown Victor Wembanyama. It's 2 a.m. In France, I believe. So yeah, they're just showing different teams and talking about odds and such.
Wait, they made him stay up for this?
I'm sure they didn't. He probably has a vested interest in wanting to know exactly where he's going. So.
The poor guy played a game today. Let him rest. This is messed up. All right. So there was a tweet today that I thought was very interesting that I wanted to share. This is from Twitter handle @JazzJargon. Just kind of giving some interesting odds here. So it says, you'll like this first one. In 1993, the Orlando Magic won the number 1 pick with 1.52% odds.
That's right. Got Chris Webber traded for Penny.
In 2014, the Cleveland Cavaliers won the first pick with a 1.7% odds.
Yeah.
In 2008, Chicago Bulls won the number 1 pick with a 1.7% odds. In 2011, Cleveland did it again and got the first pick with a 2.8% odds. And in 2000, the New Jersey, I think they were the Nets then, won the first pick with a 4.4% odds. And, the Jazz have a 4.5%. So, again,
it's possible.
We're just want to, hopeful. It's something else I've learned today that's kind of depressing. A lot of you folks out there, I see your comments. There are some really depressed folks that think the whole NBA is super rigged. Explain this to me. If you think, I just don't understand, if you think the thing is so rigged, especially, the lottery and the whole NBA, why do you watch it? Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
As somebody that runs a social media page, this is one of the things that I just never understand. If you say I post something and I always get the comments of a don't care, who cares, or you post something about the lottery, it's rigged, the NBA's rigged. Why are you wasting your time with it then? Like,
Yeah.
if you don't care about a post, or if you don't care about the NBA and think it's, then why are you wasting your time with it? I don't understand. Does that
Right.
make sense to you at all?
So when my pushback to them, because there's always they just want the big markets to have the number one pick. I see that a lot. I see that it is rigged. So, as a Magic fan, you're telling me they want someone in Orlando last year, Paolo. They want a great player in Detroit, Cade Cunningham. They want Minnesota to have the number one pick, Anthony Edwards. Pelicans, who are an extremely small market team, Zion Williamson. Phoenix, I mean, is Phoenix a big market? I guess Matt Ishbia just paid a grip for it. But you see what I'm saying? Like they'll say that when it fits a certain narrative that they don't like, right? Or it doesn't fit what they want. Now, if let's say whatever team, Jazz, whomever, gets the number one pick, then they're not talking about that. Not talking about it's rigged.
I wish I should have taken a snap of the tweet that I saw, but someone was talking about that, and it's just saying, for all you people that think it's rigged, I mean, look at all these, like you said, look at all these first picks. Like those teams, wow, they've won a lot of rings lately.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the poor Suns right now. That number one pick they recently got, everyone's saying he's about to get traded this summer. So,
right. I can't imagine this job like being the final call on who you pick as an NBA franchise. Like watching these guys, all of them look good, but what happens if Wembanyama just is injury prone, right? And that picks out of here. What happens if Scoot is a head case? What happens if Brandon Miller's groin re-aggravates constantly? Then what? And then you look back at these other picks, like obviously Anthony Bennett at one point for the Cavs. People were like, why are they picking him? But number one picks don't always come to all-star fruition for their teams.
Also, it's let's also think about last year when a certain Magic had the first pick and a certain co-host, assistant to the host, surely wasn't on the Paolo bandwagon. Remember, you wanted somebody else.
Yeah, I wanted Jabari. What I had said was that Paolo is the most NBA ready at the moment, but I think Jabari will be better. And time will tell that.
Did he even make first team rookie at all?
Didn't, but he's in Houston where he doesn't touch the ball.
Boy,
nobody passes him the ball, and that's exactly what I said would happen to him.
Well, once he gets that addition of James Harden, I'm sure things will be just right for him over there in Houston.
8 minutes until the reveal. Right now, they are interviewing the Thompson twins, which is a funny name to have. Shout out to my father-in-law, who's a Thompson Twins fan. But that's where we're at right now. 7:55 until the reveal.
So we got some time to waste here. So here's what we should do then. Let's. I'm gonna pull up a mock draft here. I'm going to be honest with all you listening right now. And I've mentioned this on the pages, and people have asked me when I've done some Q&As and whatnot. I don't know a whole lot about these guys. I actually know probably zero about these guys.
You watch Utah Jazz basketball.
I watch the basketball. I don't watch a lot of whole college. And then I don't I've always waited until the draft picks are set. And then I know who guys, like which players or who I should be looking at. And then I get hardcore into it and look into that stuff. But so what I'm saying at this time, that's a long-winded way of me saying I don't really know a lot about these guys. I know that Victor's going to be number one, and for the longest time I thought Scoot was going to be number two, but it doesn't sound like he's even going to be number two. It's a possibility someone else could be. So let's take this time to look at some of the guys who are going to be in the Jazz's area, shall we? While we wait here just a little bit. And I'm going to looking at right now the Ringers mock draft. Your boy Kevin O'Connor. I know you're a big KOC. You love him.
Love KOC. That's very sarcastic, by the way.
So this mock draft, I think, if I recall right, it was just done yesterday. I'm sure he's going to have an updated one as soon as the lottery's over. But right now for the Jazz at number 9, he had. Oh, this is the other thing. A stat that I'm just going to throw out there, and maybe you're going to tell me that duh, it's obvious, but when I was looking over these guys today and kind of some mock drafts, the first thing I noticed, this is one hell of a young draft class. Like,
I mean, that's how it's just going to be from now on. Yeah.
So just looking in the first round, this is when I was looking at the NBA draft.net mock draft. There was 3 international players, 4 sophomores, 2 juniors, and only 1 senior in the first round. All the rest of the players, 20 of them are freshmen. It's crazy. I mean, if I even recall right, the guy, Anthony Black, freshman from Arkansas, he's only 18 right now.
Yeah, they're all young.
I mean,
they're all super young.
Can you imagine? Like, I think back to when we were like that age. There's no way I was like, dude, I got to go to the prayer
You
for
couldn't
the
even get a
draft.
job. You know what I mean? You couldn't hold a
Okay,
job
whoa,
down
whoa,
on
hold
18,
on, hold on, hold on. What?
much less go to the gym every day and
I
get some
was
shots up.
working somewhere. But
Yeah,
anyways, but
exactly.
I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, is that how it's been? I mean, maybe you
The
knew
past
you're
little
more
bit, yeah.
like last year's draft. Was it that young too of a class?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
why everyone?
that's just, I mean, if you think about a team, and my ring light is going out, by the way, so I might get a little darker here. If you think about a team investing into players, they don't want someone that's 24, 25, because if you look at the average NBA career, guys aren't, shocker, you know what I'm saying? A lot of guys aren't playing until their late 30s unless your name's LeBron James. So you're trying to get the most out of your draft picks, the longest amount. So yeah, they draft young, and a lot of guys just go to college one and done, or they're going to the G League. So that's the pool now. A lot of guys don't even stay in college.
I mean, I guess that's why, like, when you think of somebody like Ochai on the Jazz right now, they think of him as an old man, and he's what? I think he's like 21, 22 or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know. But just because he's
exactly.
in his 20s, they're like, that guy's old for the draft. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy to me. Um, anyways, let's get back to here. So I'm looking at the mock draft on the Ringer, and at this time, like I'm saying, for the 9th pick, if the Jazz stay in the 9th pick, they have the Jazz taking Cason Wallace, a freshman from Kentucky.
Yeah.
What do you know? Do you know anything about this Wallace guy? Would he be a good fit with the Jazz?
I mean, he's really, really good defensively. He might be like the best defensive guard in the whole draft. Really, really good in that aspect. On ball and off ball, help defense. Not amazing from three, 34% is what he shot. He had a back injury at Kentucky that obviously had him missing a decent amount of games. I like Wallace. There's a lot of other guys I like too, depending on where the Jazz fall. I mean, I like you brought up Anthony Black. I like him. He's a big guard, 6'7", great court vision. Not as good of a defender by any means as Wallace, but man, the dude is just like finds the open person all the time. Half court, full court, transition, whatever it may be. Again, not a great shooter either from outside. More gets to the cup and scores that way. But Cason Wallace is fine. I would probably go with Anthony Black if the Jazz can get him.
So that's the one guy that I guess I've kind of looked into a little bit, just because I could think it was his hair that made me go, oh, this guy is interesting. But so I kind of watched.
Don't go by hair. Elfrid Payton had a crazy hair. And look
so I
what
watched some of his highlights, and then I listened to an interview that Tony Jones did today with David Locke, and he was talking about Black, and he was saying, great defender and all this, but he's saying his problem was, because I think Locke had asked him, who's somebody you think is going to be a top 10 pick but might fall, and what do they always say? If a pick is a bust, he's a bust.
Oh.
And he said, I don't think Black is going to be a bust, but if he doesn't get his offense right quick, then he could be, people might call him a bust. And he says it's really going to depend on who picks him. Like if he came to Utah, Utah has known for their good development and getting players.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, if he goes to another place where they don't have such a good development, it could be a downfall for him. So yeah. Anyways, so for me as a Jazz fan, I mean, like I said, as little as I know, the thing I know for the Jazz that they need is a point guard.
1000%.
Because obviously we know, Taylor Horton Tucker, he has an option. Is he going to opt in or opt out? But he's not even really a point guard, if we're all being honest. Jordan Clarkson, obviously we all know he's going to opt out. Is he going to return? Even if he does, the dude's not really a point guard. So they're kind of, I mean, if we're really looking at it, Taylor Horton Tucker and Clarkson are kind of the same. They love to get their points, and that's where it is. With that being said,
the only point guard on the roster is done, right?
And is he even really a point guard? I mean,
he's the closest thing.
Exactly. So
your boy Ryan Smith just sat down. We got 147 until they do the reveal. So
with that being said, I mean, I was kind of looking over and I didn't see a whole lot of point guards. It just says guards. I mean, is it just because that's the way the game is at this point? There's just all everyone's combo guards. Is there any real true good point guards available for the Jazz in the top 10?
Yes, there is. If the Jazz find a way to get into that top 3, Scoot is the guy to get. Again, not a great shooter from outside, but his athleticism, how strong he is, his ability to get to the cup. He's a good passer, and I think he'll be able to improve the outside shooting. Like, I look at Scoot and Jazz fans will probably be like, we don't want him then. But I look at him like Russell Westbrook right now. You know what I'm saying? So Scoot would be the point guard. Everyone else is just good, right? Like they're decent. Right now they're introducing everyone who's sitting up on the stage. I don't have my volume up, so some of these people I'm not going to know, but they are introducing. Oh, there we go. Bob Webster representing Toronto. Nick Collison. Oh, wow. Representing OKC. Let's see who's next. Dallin Terry for Chicago. Hopefully Chicago doesn't move up. Nico Harrison for Dallas. I know we got some Dallas fans in here. Colin Sexton for your Utah Jazz.
You know what? Okay. Can I just say something about that? You know who they should have had representing the Jazz for that thing?
Oh.
I don't know actually.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that was it. Thank you for cutting me off. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
It should have been Gail. Should have been Gail Miller. Let her have her.
Okay. I mean, I won't speak ill of Gail Miller. I don't know her, but I think there's a lot of other people that could. Ooh, Brandon Roy for Portland. 10.5 chance for the number 1 pick. Jeez, Mark Williams for Charlotte. Listen, if Wembanyama goes to Charlotte, I am going to be sick. Ime, the new coach out there in Houston, I don't want him to go there either. And then
they let him be there.
He's the head coach.
I know, but I mean, just I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation still. I don't know if they'd want to be there, but okay, sure, why not?
Well, if he's the coach, he's
the coach. I guess
he's there. Let's see. All right, now we've got some other gentlemen. I didn't see the names. Oh, they're handing the envelopes to the stage. Nobody's there. To the stand. Hopefully, you guys are all just relying on us to tell you what's going on and you're not watching it, because I'm trying to do my best here. I think Mark Tatum's about to come out.
This is suspense, like
walking
no other.
Down the steps. Oh, he slipped. I'm kidding. He didn't. He's fine. NBA Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum. Here we go.
Oh God, is this really happening? Just
number
like this?
14 pick. Goes to the New Orleans Pelicans. So right now we're staying chalk. You know what I mean? They were going to get 14. They got 14. 13. Let's see what we got. You got the percentages there. Toronto Raptors at 13. And I believe they were supposed to be 13. Yes. 12. We have Oklahoma City.
Oh, I shouldn't have looked at Twitter.
Don't look at Twitter. What are you doing?
Sorry.
You've been doing that for years. So frustrating. Number 11 goes to, it's my Orlando Magic from the Bulls. Thank you, Chicago. I hope you enjoyed Vucevic. Look at Dallin Terry, has no idea what's going on. Wait, what? We don't get a pick? Why'd I come here? Number 10 goes to the Dallas Mavericks. Here we go. Number 9.
It's the Jazz.
Why would you do that? You take all suspense out for people that are watching this. You're awful. And now you're tweeting it, aren't you? You're tweeting it while we're here. Yeah. Okay. The Utah Jazz, number 9.
Well, I mean, dude, you even said the draft, if you were a betting man.
Okay. Well, we just buried this show. Okay. Oh, 8. Washington. Okay. That stays. Okay. Sorry. I thought that was different. 7 should be the Pacers. If we're staying chalk, better not be Orlando. Pacers. Okay. This is the moment right here. 6, where we need the Portland Trailblazers and my Orlando Magic jump up to the top 4, I mean. Damn it. All right. Orlando at 6. So far, this is just staying how it should. Let's see what 5 goes to. Man, no drama at all. And Detroit at 5.
Serious?
Oh, boy.
Nice. So does that mean Portland moved up?
That means Portland moved up. Could potentially
that's what I was hoping.
Wemby.
That's what I was.
All right. See, now we got a little excitement, I guess. So we're going to wait. Obviously, this is where they go to commercial. So number 9.
Number 9.
Yeah, that's what you got. What do you want? You said you want a point guard.
We need a guard.
This is my thoughts with the Utah Jazz. If there isn't a great point guard or someone that truly stands out at number 9, why not just draft another position outside of center? Lauri Markkanen is versatile in where he can play the 4 or the 3. Obviously, Walker Kessler is great, and he's going to stay right where he is at center. But outside of that, why not try to look for maybe a small forward, maybe a power forward, maybe a 2 guard? I know Ochai had a good end of the season, but
So I mean, okay, what I'm saying is the Jazz. The number one thing they need is a point guard. But with that being said, now they're the ninth pick. They'll obviously take the best available player. I don't now the best available player, quote unquote, is a big. I don't think they would take that.
not a center, not a center. I'm saying I'm talking
Yeah.
about maybe a power forward because Laurie is super versatile in what he can do and where he can play. So if there's a let's or a small forward, like let's say someone like Cam Whitmore falls down that far for whatever reason, he's not going to, but he would be a solid pick as a small forward. Taylor Hendricks is a pretty good power forward, good rim protector, can really, really, really shoot from outside, can play the pick and roll.
So
I think that would be someone, but there's I don't know. To be honest, and then you got Grady Dick, who just seems to fit for the Jazz. You're just out there shooting threes. I don't know.
So I mean, again, I'm just a broken record here. I don't know a whole lot about these guys, but when I started looking over the mock drafts today, what I did notice is it seems like it's a very heavy shooting guard, small forward kind of dudes, and obviously now we know it's the ninth pick in that kind of area. You were mentioning some guys there. We talked about, I've heard the name Whitmore a lot for the Jazz around that area. I've heard, and this is going to be so much fun to say, I've heard a lot about Dick.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Yes,
we just got to put it out there. The first lame joke for there, But the thing, so like, just the mock drafts I've looked over today, in the area the Jazz are at now, the ninth pick, one mock draft has guys there. The other mock draft has guys that are there like back farther, and it's kind of like they seem like they're all kind of over the place with that. Like the Dick guy. I've seen him with the Jazz around ninth, and then I've had seen other mock drafts where he's up there going like 5, 6.
Yeah,
and then
I don't think there's any way he goes that high. I think the top 5, I think the top 6 are locked as far as the players that will be in the top 6. Now, at where they end up outside of Wembanyama, you could maybe make an argument, and we'll see who wins the lottery here, or I guess who gets second, third, and fourth. You could make an argument that Brandon Miller and Scoot, a team might want Miller over Scoot, a team might want Scoot over Miller. Then you have the Thompson twins that are inevitably going to go between 4 and 6, more than likely. Maybe one of them slips to 7. Whitmore, though, I don't think he's getting out of the top 6.
So speaking of the top, I mean that I've heard, obviously for the while when I first started looking at these mock drafts, I would say earlier this about a week or so ago, it seemed like the Thompson twins are like one was getting drafted and one was next. And now as it's gotten closer to the lottery, one of them, and I believe it's Osser, if that's I'm saying that right. Seems like he's the one that's kind of been slipping, and even I've seen him getting picked by the Jazz around the ninth spot. What's the deal with him, I guess?
I don't know.
How do you say his name?
Yeah, no, you got it. You got it. I don't know why he would slip down to the Jazz's spot. Out of the 2 brothers, he's actually the better shooter, but that's not saying a lot because neither one of them can shoot very well. These 2 are just ridiculously athletic, like super athletic. The problem with them again is their shooting ability. Like Amen, the one who's supposed to go first or before the first brother to be picked, I should say, there was defenses playing off of him in some of those G League games, like they were doing to Russell Westbrook, like they do to Draymond Green. Obviously, he's a lot younger, so hopefully he could go to a team that works with him. And then the other brother, it's very similar. He shoots 60% from the free throw line. So
okay, real quick, because I already know who it is. If you had a guess of the remaining teams, I'm not gonna tell you right now until it happens on your TV. Who do you think is gonna get the number 1 pick?
You already know.
Yeah.
I hope San Antonio gets the number 1. San Antonio or Portland would be my hope. If Charlotte or Houston gets it, why even? I mean, okay, Houston number 4. Okay, good. Did not need Wembanyama going there. That's a perfect spot for the Thompson twin. 3, Charlotte. Oh, okay. Interesting. Portland. God, please don't let Charlotte get the number 1 pick. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense for him to go to San Antonio with the number one. It's a good organization. Pop went through hell this year with some, you all saw the roster, and this is what he gets.
So let's just hurry. I'm going to do a quick recap of basically what's gone on the lottery here.
Go
so
ahead.
we'll just start at the 10th spot. So the Dallas Mavericks get 10th spot, Jazz stay at the 9th spot, the Wizards 8th, Pacers 7th, your Magic at the 6th, Pistons fall to 5, and then we get to wait, who's at 4?
4 is Houston.
Okay, I was like, I didn't see there. So Houston's at 4, Portland's at 3, Hornets at 2, and the Spurs at number 1. Now, I got to say, the first thing I saw out of, I see the Spurs, and I'm sure everyone's like, oh, Pop with Vic, that's going to be so fun. Does Pop really want to deal? I mean, do you think he still has the energy left to go through a whole nother? Because, I mean, Victor, I don't know how good he's going to be and whatever and such. Like, that's going to take some time. It's not like the first year and they're going to be a title team the first year. Like, does Pop have it in him, or like? Are they
I think so. Pop is a great coach, and
of course,
and for this guy to be the most the prospect that has the most hype behind him and most anticipated prospect since LeBron James, I think that says a lot about how he can play. Like, he's obviously going to have to put on a little bit of weight. Oh man, now they're getting ready to interview him out in France, but yeah, I mean, if I'm Pop, I'm very excited right now. And it's not like, I think they have Vassell there. They got a couple of guys that can play. And if you can bring some guys that want to play with Vic, then I mean, they might be able to slip into that play in his rookie year. And if he's as special as a lot of people say he is, maybe even like that 6th seed, depending on what happens in the West. It's going to be a wild offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee right now the Spurs, obviously they're excited about getting the first pick, but they've also got to start thinking like, we got to get some players around this guy, because just even the guys you're naming right now, I'm like, huh? What? That's what?
Well, it's because you just watch Utah Jazz basketball. I'm telling you, some of these guys, Keldon Johnson is good. Jeremy Sohan was decent.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you got to have those. You're saying good and decent, but they got to have some more guys there. So,
no doubt, yeah, they need a lot more than just those. But I mean, this guy again, if he is what he is all cracked up to be, and if you watch him play, he's very special.
So, I mean, and then, okay, so as a Jazz fan, the first thing I started thinking of when I saw, okay, the Jazz are in 9th, crap. We all know the Jazz have 3 first round draft picks this year.
Yep.
As a non-Jazz fan, explain to me how there's no way in hell the Jazz are going to be able to move up at all. Or can they move up, do you think? Is there any teams, now that we know the set there, is there any teams there that you see that could say, you know what, we'll move back to the 9th, Jazz, give us your picks and we'll let you come move up? Or is the draft so good that everyone's talking about that no one's going to want to trade their spot?
I think if I'm the Jazz, maybe you try to get up into that. I don't think the top 3. I don't think anyone's trading anything in that top 3. Maybe you wiggle up into the 6th where Orlando is, or 7th. But then what do you have to give up? I mean, there are guys like, let's see who commented there. Braxton Hawes said Taylor Hendricks. I think he could be really good. Like I said, a really good rim protector. You're putting him next to Kessler, and his ability to shoot outside as well and spread the floor along with Laurie, like that could be pretty dangerous. But they have to be all in on a player in order to move any of these picks. I just don't know if they are at this point. I could talk to some of my sources and find out. You know what I mean? But I don't know right now.
So let's talk about this too. You're an Orlando Magic fan. Like you said, you have the 6th spot there. Yeah. What is it like as an Orlando Magic? What is it that they need right now to get them to that next level of staying out of lottery and finally making the playoffs and continuing to stay in the playoffs?
Yeah. I think realistically what they could get there, and what I hope they get, is someone like Cam Whitmore. I mean, they have Paolo, they have Wendell Carter, they have Franz Wagner, right? I would say their guard positions aren't great, and that's because you have guys like Markelle Fultz who can't seem to stay healthy. Suggs can't stay healthy. Cole Anthony, like, for all that he doesn't do a lot of other stuff, and he can shoot you out of games, can also shoot you into games. He's like a very young, not as good Jordan Clarkson. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, they need a really good point guard. And if they were able to move maybe their picks and get someone who's more tenured right now, then I would believe in them. And then they're all going to be a year older too. Paolo had a good year, a really good year. Franz is a really good forward, can play outside, can play inside. Carter's good, young. This is the first time in a long time that I've actually been really excited about the Orlando Magic, which is sad, but it's true.
So as of right now, I was trying to see if anyone's updated their mock drafts, and it doesn't look like quite yet.
Yeah, probably not.
But see what your Magic are the 6th pick, right? So this one actually, they already had the Magic at 6, and this is the NBA Draft.net mock. They actually have the Magic taking Anthony Black at 6. Now, as me as a Jazz fan, that doesn't seem smart. Aren't you guys already guard heavy?
No, that's what I'm saying. We may be guard heavy. I would love Anthony Black. We don't need a guard that's going to score. We need a guard that's going to facilitate for everyone else. And if his downfall, or what Tony Jones said, he has to work on his scoring. Like if he can just distribute the ball to Paolo, to Franz, to whomever we try to bring in at the 2 guard, I would love that. But we'll see. I think Cam Whitmore is going to be a better pro, but I don't know how much run he gets. Maybe you put him at the 2, but I don't know if you can. Yeah, I don't know.
So my head's just now, it's the fun part about this. Now that we know the positions, it's all about, figuring out players and stuff. It's also, you can start doing your crazy trade ideas. And I love coming up with crazy trade ideas. So when I'm speaking to you as a Magic fan, say the Jazz were like, okay, they want a Black and he's there available. And the Jazz call the Magic and say, look, we'll trade you the 9th pick, the 16th pick, and a future something, right? Whatever they can need to. And they also say, or would that be enough, do you think, to do that trade, or does it have to be something else too?
I think that'd probably be enough, the 9th and the 16th, 2 picks, because you would still get a pretty decent player at 9. And I know Orlando needs shooting on the outside. Grady Dick should probably be there at 9. So, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. Would I rather have Cam Whitmore? Yeah, but maybe Grady Dick just falls into that, taller, more athletic JJ Redick role. I miss JJ.
So, okay, now we obviously know the positions now for the Jazz in the draft. Now it's official. The Jazz will have the 9th pick. Obviously, they already know that they have the 16th pick, which is the Minnesota pick, and then also the 28th pick, which is from Brooklyn, but it was technically the 76ers or something like that. I'm going to make a whatever right now, a
prediction,
a
bold prediction, one that probably won't happen.
Something. The Utah Jazz will not draft 3 players in the first round. They will not. I know we have 3 picks right now. I'm saying this right now. There is absolutely no mother effing way the Jazz draft all 3 of them. Okay. And I'll say this too. The Jazz right now do not have a 2nd round pick in this year's draft. I would say the Jazz end up, this is what I would see happening more. The Jazz will end up with a 2nd round pick somehow and get something there, but they will not have 3 first round picks.
But why? Why?
Just because they don't need to add 3 more young guys and stuff. And honestly, like this summer, maybe it was Tony Jones again saying that this summer, free agency this summer is kind of whack. If you've looked at
it's Middleton.
If you've looked at free agency, it's
Westbrook.
bad. Even the guys that are like you're saying available, some of them have contracts or player option stuff. It's kind of like the Clarkson situation. They're free agents, but are they really and stuff? But yeah, Westbrook's going to be a free agent. I
think Chris Middleton as
Middleton
well.
Player
Does
option.
Does he have a player option?
But like the big ones, it's that Harden. It's not very good of a free agency. If the dude that's on the Lakers right now is about to get paid, that tells you the free agency class. Now
Austin
I know he's had
a
pretty good season, but is he going to be worth how much he's about to get paid? Probably.
It's all
not.
relative to who's paying him.
So what I'm trying to say is that there's going to be some trades too that happen because, we always know what happens. Some player that's not talking right now in a couple weeks is going to say, you know what, get me out of here.
Sure, but
let's be honest. All us Utah folks, we're all sitting there watching and keeping an eye on this whole Luka thing, right? Now, according to the comments, some people, they don't want Luka, which I think is completely insane. But then they'll say, well, we want to trade for Dame. That's just because, I mean, look, Dame and Lillard would be great, but I think you guys are just being homers a little. You're just being a little bit of a homer with that whole talk. Anyways,
do you
maybe one of them says this is, I'm sick of being here. It's time for a trade. Whatever.
Enough is enough, and it's time for
a
change. You realistically think that Utah could pull off getting Luka Doncic here?
Dude, I mean, they are sitting on so many assets. No, okay, if we're being serious, I don't think the Mavs would trade him at all. Even if he said, I want to trade, they wouldn't trade him right now. I think they would. I think the owner would have a hardcore sit down with him and say, dude, whatever you want, let's do it. I'll build you, you want to bring your own car dealerships, you want your own strip club, you want your own bar, let's build it. Everything you want, we're building it for you. We're renaming this team the Dallas Lucas. It's fine. You're staying here.
I would say this. A lot of players that, especially now, demand trades. They do it on the back and behind closed doors. They go public with it. They let the team know where they want to go, or a list of teams they want to go to. Not saying that Luka wouldn't want to come to Utah and play with Laurie and a couple other guys, but Utah would have to more than likely give up someone like Laurie or Walker Kessler and then a grip of picks, which they do have, right? And Luka Doncic is an incredible player, one of a top 5 player, which makes it so wild that they didn't even get into the playoffs. I know they sat some guys and what have you. But I don't see him on his list of teams if Laurie has to get moved, Walker Kessler has to get moved, saying, hey, Utah's a spot for me, just with what else is around, right? Unless he's a big Fontecchio guy or Luka Samanic. Maybe him and Luka go back, you know what I mean, in the streets of, where are they from again? My mind went blank.
Slovenia? Okay. I mean, I know he is. I don't know about the other Luka.
Yeah.
Well, wait, which Luka are we talking about? The Jazz Luka or
either
the
one?
Jazz
it doesn't
Luka?
matter. So I don't think Utah would be on his list at the moment. Now, I don't think he's going to get out this year either. I think all-star superstars that within the next year might be leaving their team. You could have someone like James Harden, all the rumors going to Houston. I said this on my podcast, which comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow being Wednesday, by the way, just
Wednesday,
in case.
Apologies. Yes, Wednesday. Joel Embiid might be that guy next year that says, all right, I'm done here. So, but I don't think Luke is that right now.
So I don't even remember how we got into this tangent. I think we were talking about, free agency is going to be whack. Yeah. But trades, I mean, there's going to be, this summer could be, like I said, I believe Tony Jones was saying it. Maybe it's with that talk with David Locke today, just saying, watch out for some crazy trades going on this year, just because, people are going to try and move, even if it's not in the, top 10 picks. There's still, right, according to Tony Jones, he thinks there's still going to be some players, in the 10 to 20 range that, maybe they won't be starters and all-stars right away, but they could still help a team that's, ready for the playoffs, like a Utah Jazz. And that's why
I'm saying I don't get why they would trade picks. It's hard enough to get superstars here unless you're trading for superstars, and you package some of those picks. You've got guys at 16 that will be able to come in and help contribute off the bench, if anything. A guy like Jordan Hawkins, if he's there from UConn. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat, everybody. I think he would be good there. Even at 28, there's guys that you could possibly get. 16, there's guys you could get as well. Chris Murray, Keegan Murray's brother, he's been slipping like crazy in mock drafts. I'm not 100% sure why. I mean, if he has the Murray DNA in him, I'd take a flyer on him at 16 or 28 without a doubt.
By the way, I just want to give a quick shout out. Chance Stark in our YouTube chat here saying it's crazy the Jazz have never moved up. And that, it blew your mind when I told you that earlier. They've never moved up. The tradition lives on, unfortunately. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts. There's been times where they probably should have, for sure.
There's times we've made trades and got up and got guys that no longer are on the team or playing in this country or even play anymore. How
Hey,
you doing,
it happens
Cantor?
to the best of us.
All right. Well, I've got an updated mock here that we can go over if we'd like to, and just maybe get to the Jazz part here and
Yeah.
see what you think of this. Oh, now it's going all crazy. It's the website's crashing. Okay, so obviously we know Wemby's going number one to the Spurs.
Without a doubt.
So again, I'm looking at NBADraft.net. This one mock has the number two. We know Charlotte has the pick now. So you knowing that, put on your Charlotte hat. Who do you think they take at number two?
Miller.
Yeah, that's I mean that's what this mock has.
Scoot and Ball don't make sense on the same team.
So that makes up another interesting. Do you think that pick's available at all, or there's no way they're trading that?
You never know with Charlotte. They're a, pardon my language, they're a shit show over there.
All right, so the number third pick going to Portland. This mock has them taking Scoot there.
End of the Dame era, then, huh?
That's kind of. I mean, they're going. So that means they would have Dame, Scoot,
that means
and
they would
Anthony.
trade Dame.
What? Or do they trade Anthony?
No.
Why would they trade him?
It's time. Let him live. Let him go on a team that has a chance to win a title. He's been faithful and loyal enough. Get him somewhere where he can sniff a conference finals again. I know he had that run a couple of years ago, but if he doesn't, he's going to forever be one of those guys where they're like, yeah, he's good, but he never won a title. And I don't think he wants that.
So what you're saying right now, as a non-Utah Jazz fan, is just an NBA lover and stuff like that. You're saying, in a weird way, the lottery balls might have actually just fallen in the Jazz hands in a sense that by Portland getting the third pick, and if they take Scoot, that might actually be the door opening for
I think Dame's
Dame
gone. I think Dame's gone before this. I thought Dame was gone this summer or next year. But this definitely helps that. Yeah. If Scoot's the guy at number 3, yeah.
So what you're saying, come on, I need you to say it. There's a chance.
There's always a chance
for Dame to go to the Jazz.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Now, let's goof around with this trade for a little. What would it take, you think, if the Jazz got on the phone with Portland and they're saying, "Okay, realistically, what do you need from us to make this deal happen?"
Well, money-wise, I know Dame makes a lot, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, so the money has to make sense. I don't know who the highest paid player on the Jazz organization is right now. I would assume since Clarkson didn't opt in, he's out of the discussion there. Is Laurie the highest paid dude on the roster?
Or Colin Sexton. But you could always, if it came to it, maybe if Portland wanted, he could agree to it. There could always be a sign and trade with Clarkson, but I somehow doubt he would want to go to Portland in that kind of situation.
It's like, come on, Jordan, take one for the team. He's like, no, sir. Maybe it's a 3-team thing. The Jazz have the assets with the picks, 100%. They would have to move somebody worth having, a younger. Maybe Sexton's the guy. Maybe Agbaji has to be in that trade as well. Which, if you're getting Damian Lillard, you're probably cool with, right? Like, I'm asking you, yeah. But outside of that, like I was looking at the Jazz roster, and there isn't a ton of assets that you would want that a team would want, another team would want, outside of, obviously, you have Walker Kessler, which isn't going to get traded, Laurie Marketing, right?
As far as like an assets contract wise, really it is Sexton and Kelly Olynyk too, just because he's on an expiring.
Okay.
So
maybe
he's a good player that's cheap, but anyway, so Jazz fans out there, just so you know, the non-Jazz fan is saying, by Portland getting that third pick, and if they go the Scoot route, that could have somehow.
I think the door's wide open for Dame.
So just imagine this is the door, and you just went.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good sound effect?
No.
Oh, nope, sorry,
that was bad, but it's fine.
So let's move on. The number 4, Houston. Someone earlier in the chat was mentioning this guy, Taylor Hendricks. Who says as a power forward center? Why the hell would Houston need another big?
I don't think they take him. I would say DraftNet is off with that. I think they take one of the Thompsons. I would imagine they take Amen Thompson. I like Hendricks a lot, but that's kind of Jabari. Sengun is there. I don't see them taking that. I think they go with Thompson.
I'm just going to throw
Amen,
this out
Thompson.
there. I could see it. I mean, again, my mind goes to trades on. I could see this being one of those let's make a deal asset-y things where Houston trades with Charlotte to move up to 2 because they want a guard guy, and then they have they can get the Brandon Miller guy if they want to, or they can take Scoot.
Or there's this potential of the guy that's been in all the rumors recently, who loves Houston, who truly enjoys the after hours places there, and just looked awful in his last playoff game. Maybe they package this pick and then some guys on the team to head over to Philly, and they get James Harden.
Harden's a free agent, bro.
I'm saying as a sign and trade. They don't have.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, yes, of course, but as a sign and trade, because Philly's not going to just let him walk. Hey, see ya.
Let me see a free agent.
Especially Daryl Morey. They have a relationship.
All right. Well, let's. So the next pick that this mock has at number 5 is the Detroit Pistons, and they take your Amen Thompson. Is that right? Amen. Amen.
Not amen. Amen.
So explain to me these Thompson twins. I mean, why is this one better than the other one? What am I missing here?
I don't know if he's necessarily. I mean, they're both good. This one is slightly more athletic, but they're both crazy athletic. I think the ceiling for these guys is really, really high if they can get some resemblance, a shot, any type of shot. They would be really good in this league, but we have to wait and see. But yeah, I think he goes 4.
Well, you're really hating on this mock is not working for you, huh?
I'm just saying, why the hell would Hendricks go to Houston? Maybe I don't know.
I think honestly, I mean, some of these earlier mocks probably at this time they're just kind of doing best available to the team.
And I mean, this did come out like what 3 minutes after they announced the
right.
Yeah, okay.
So I mean, next, like we already talked about the Magic, they have them taking Anthony Black, 7. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the is it Grady? Is that how you say his first name? Grady
Dick. Yep.
So they have him going 7 to the Pacers. So like I said, some mocks he's going this high, others he's available for the Jazz and have been lower. So
yeah,
he could be one of those guys that's just kind of all over the place in these mocks, and people, I guarantee, I mean, if you're listening to this, Jazz fans, this is a name you're going to hear a lot, probably with the Jazz and possibility. So
this dude can shoot the lights out. Like, shoot.
So is he the best 3-point in the top 10, would you say? Or
I think I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure, because I think he shot 40% from 3, which also is what Hendricks shot. So maybe, similar. But from the field, from the actual field, he's probably the best shooter. I think he shot 45% at Kansas. And Kansas is no like slouch of a college, you know what I'm saying?
And well, just prepare yourself, everybody, because it's going to happen a lot, Lots of Jazz fans are going to say, we got to draft Dick. If we draft Dick, I'm getting the jersey first and foremost. So it's going to happen. We're going to see a lot of it on social media. I'm telling you now, prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Next up, number 8, Washington. They have them taking the other Thompson guy, Azor.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's good.
And then number 9, this is, I think the guy that you're saying would fit pretty well with the Jazz, Cam Whitmore.
I don't see him going that low, but maybe. Maybe.
Looks like he's a small forward, 6'7" from Villanova, freshman, of course, because everyone's a freshman. I mean,
18. He's young. Like I think he's one of the youngest in the draft by months.
Let's see if I can. Is there any comparisons here? Let's see. I love the old comparisons here. I think the Kevin O'Connor had one. So on the Kevin O'Connor one, I mean, he hasn't updated, but he had him going 6 to your Magic at that time.
That makes sense.
It doesn't give me a.
Did they give him a comp?
Let's see. I'm trying to pull it up here.
He's kind of hard to have a comp for because he's 6'7", 232, crazy explosive, strong.
So it says 6'7", 232 pounds. Age says this is a weird age.
18.
18.9. What does that mean? 9 months.
Yes.
Wingspan 7 foot. He's got a pretty big wingspan.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shades of a semi-truck with a Ferrari accelerator.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. He's built like a freaking brick wall, and he's fast and explosive and good scorer.
Says got that dog in him.
One of my favorite things. I love dogs.
No, it's not saying any comparison kind of things on this. It says big wing. I mean, yeah, it says quite a bit there. I mean, minuses on him, lacks experience in the post, but his collection of skills suggests he could become a mismatch attacker if he develops some moves. So honestly, this kind
I
of
feel like that's just Kevin O'Connor reaching for something. Yeah.
Just seems like a quick read on him. It just feels like it's almost like we were talking about with Black earlier. It really is going to depend where he goes as far as the development and stuff with him. So let's talk about real quick, kind of could wrap things, get toward the end of here. The 16th pick. Any guys that you like, you mentioned some there earlier, some other guys that you think would be good in that area for the Jazz? I know there was talk of some, obviously we all know about the Frenchman Wimby, but there was another French guy, I believe, that was in that area. Do you know anything?
Yeah, I haven't done. I haven't looked up anything on that French guy, but I've seen him. I just haven't gotten to that point. Jordan Hawkins from UConn, 6'5" guard. He can really score. He can shoot from anywhere. Would be a good replacement to someone like Jordan Clarkson. I'm not saying he's going to fill his role like from the jump, but in the coming years, a lot of mocks had Kobe Lufkin from Michigan. I myself like Hawkins a bit more. Then you have some Jet Howard from Michigan as well. Shooter, not a good defender though. So I think at 16, if Jordan Hawkins is there, he's a solid pick. And again, I've seen so many different mocks that has Chris Murray, Keegan Murray's brother, in the 13 to 17 range, and then some that don't even have him in the first round. So I think if there's a way to get him at that 28th spot, that would be pretty tough because I think he's good. I thought his brother was good. He's not as good as his brother was in college, but still a solid basketball player that I think could contribute even in his rookie year, really.
Yeah, so the mock that I'm looking at here, again, NBA draft.net mock, the latest updated version since the lottery. So the guy that you mentioned, Murray, they have him going 18th to the Heat.
Oh, okay.
I guess there's actually two guys from France that are kind of in that range. There's the one that I was thinking of that I've heard is his name is Bill, Bilal, Koulibaly.
Bilal, that'd be Bilal.
And then last name Coulibally.
Calaby?
Exactly. You're talking like everyone's. Anyways,
you said his name was Bill.
Bilal.
So the singer Bilal.
This is saying he's a shooting guard, small forward, 6'6". There's also another French guy, but they have him going 19th. So on this mock for the Jazz at 16, they have them picking Maxwell Lewis, a shooting guard, small forward for Pepperdine, who's a sophomore. So he's a little older than the other guys, being a sophomore.
Experience. Okay.
And then if by chance the Jazz pick this other pick in the 28th, which I don't think they will, this mock has the Jazz taking a Derek Lively, a center from Duke, a freshman.
It's tough. Yeah.
See, that's crazy.
Would be good.
Good backup. That's how you know it is a good draft, though, just in the sense that I just mentioned someone at the end of the first round, and you even know who he is.
Well, I watch a lot of college basketball, so don't gauge that on me, right?
Let me just test you real quick. Do you know if I say Trey Alexander? Does that sound familiar, Creighton?
Yeah. I for whatever reason, Creighton was on Fox a lot, not our local Fox channel, but Fox, Sports. So I saw Creighton a bit. Yep.
So. Yeah, I mean, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The lottery's done. We know where we're going. So now the fun of tons of mocks, tons of possible trade ideas.
You're going to be fake trading that. What is it? What you don't use the trade machine on NBA, but what do you use? Fanspo or something?
Yeah, there's some other one.
Well, you can involve picks. Yeah, you enjoy that one.
Where they've actually updated the Jazz logo. It's not been the Jazz logo from like 6 years ago. So I'm sorry, but if you're a big sport, who was it today that I saw? ESPN again. They still haven't updated the Jazz. It's like, come on, guys.
Talk to Ryan. Get a change.
I can't just
You have his ear.
I don't have his ear. I have nothing of his.
Don't lie to the people.
So we're going to kind of wrap things up here. I just want to give a special shout out. Thanks to all you that jumped on. I noticed, it's kind of, now that we're kind of dwindling down here, the numbers have come down, but at a time we were around 50 people that were watching with us. So that's
shout
pretty
out to
cool.
Mike Thompson. He will be on my podcast tomorrow, Wednesday, depending on when you're here. Shout out to Sebastian. I see you there. Braxton Hawks. Aaron. He said, bruh. Yeah. That was after it was announced where the Jazz were going. Shout out to Chance Stark. My guy, Dre Rocca, is in here as well. A lot of people. That was fun. Tom Fitton. We all know Tom Fitton. Yeah, Brandon Rose, a lot of people came through. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Hopefully next time we do these kind of things, we'll be a little better at the start there. We had
I got to
some
charge my
technical
ring
issues.
light. Look at this piece. I charged it, man. I just need a new one.
His light went out. So it's funny. I have this, look, for all you watching right now, I have this very, kind of expensive setup thing here that's for the microphone and all that. Had it hooked up and stuff, we get on here and Will Wonder's like, dude, you sound like crap.
Like he was in a bathroom.
So isn't it always amazing? Some technologies you get like, the best of the good stuff and you go to use it and no,
I want to probably say it was user error because those Rodes are generally pretty good.
I mean, I know how to plug things in and stuff. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking about the podcast here, I mean, we're back. When will we have the next episode? Not 100% sure. We're just gonna kind of have to go with that. But I'll say this to all you folks out there listening: the reason the podcast took kind of a break just because it wasn't at the level I think either one of us would have liked it to have been at, and it just needed to refresh. So now that we've refreshed, I do have some interviews lined up. I'm not going to say who they are yet, but we've got some former players, possible current players lined up and things like that. So I just want to say that, don't think that we just took a break and it was just because we were mad. We thought we were too good for this all. I don't know. It's just, it needed a refreshment. It needed a break and we had to regroup. So we're back. We don't know. I mean, I can't tell you right now when the next episode is going to be, but for sure,
it depends if something happens with the Jazz. If there's a trade, hey, let's hop on. If there's some during the draft, of course, summer league will probably. I mean, we'll be at summer league at some point, right?
I mean, but what I'm saying, like, I can't tell you like every Wednesday, we're gonna have a new podcast. That's what I'm trying to say. Like once a week.
Point doesn't make sense.
We'll get there again on some kind of schedule. But
if you want to, hold on, let me say this. If you want a good weekly podcast, the Will Wonder Pod is the place to go. Right? I got a YouTube going. Not like this. We don't have lives. We have interviews, and I drop an episode every single week. So there.
We were gonna get to your.
I just wanted to point that out. If they need that weekly fix of my voice. And they aren't listening at this point.
Well, also, so the point I was also trying to get to, I mean, there's a million freaking sports podcasts, all you guys out there. I mean, I didn't want just this jazz podcast to be another one that's there and it's on your, it's on your thing there. You subscribed, but do you really ever listen to it and pay attention? And, I'd like it to get to a higher up. Will it ever be to the Bill Simmons level? Maybe one day, but hopefully does that make sense? We just want to give you a
quality product.
Quality.
Right? There you go.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that word.
Well, sometimes you struggle with your words, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm excited for the potential interviews that we have lined up. I'm excited for once this jazz season starts. Obviously, we'll be back around the draft for sure, and we'll just go from there, man. But I think it's like you said, there are so many podcasts that come out weekly, and I'm going to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of jazz podcasts. I follow the NBA like crazy, basketball in general. But we just wanted to give something that wasn't watered down, us just coming on being like, so the Jazz lost to the Trailblazers. Damian Lillard had 48 points. And what do you think the Jazz need to do to get better?
Plus, another thing, and we're going to have to experiment with this more. Obviously, there's some comments here. I wanted to make it so it was actually available for people could interact with it and stuff like that too. So
that's fun.
Kind of have an announcement to make it this at the end of the whole thing here. So
can I shout out Z Dog? He just jumped in here.
Shout out to the Z Dog. So so I'll say this. So a couple months ago, we're going to get a little real here for a second.
Oh, okay. I'm going to sit back.
A couple months ago, I got released from my job. So at this point, I've, took some months. So another reason the podcast has been away, I had to do some reflection in life. Sometimes you got to, actually think over things and realize what you want to do. So with that being said, I've recently talked it over, family, wife, got some advice from some people that I trust that are, local in the community that are
shout out to Ryan,
very smart folks. And, I've decided at this point, I'm going to try and make this JazzNation thing like my full-time job. So that means, I'm trying to take, obviously I'm talking about the podcast, but there's going to be other things coming along that are going to be to the next level of things. So
I don't even know about these. I'm excited.
So what I'm talking about, obviously we redid the logo. That's, I needed to make it look more professional and updated and things like that. we're talking about summer league. I'm trying to get us. I'm still in communication, but I'm trying to get it so we can go there and actually communicate, like be like with the media.
We need
So like
that.
we can,
We need that.
interviews and stuff like that. I'm talking about, I've already said I've got things lined up for the podcast with interviews with former players and stuff like that. But I'm still working out how it's going to be done. But there's going to be some kind of, obviously I'm talking about this is going to be my full-time job. Well, full-time job means I got to have some kind of, if we're all talking about real, there's got to be income with it, right? Like I've got to have a way.
That's a part of a job.
I've got to, everyone listening, I'm sure you understand, unless you're under the age of like 18, but maybe you don't quite understand yet, but you got to provide for your family and stuff like that. So long-winded series saying there's going to be sometime soon announcements about JazzNation. We're going to have like a subscription kind of situation thing. Still don't, like I said, I'm still working out and things like that. But basically what's going to happen is there's going to be opportunities when you subscribe to be part of the podcast. And we'll do podcasts where, I'll set up where we go do in-person podcast if we go to a venue of some sorts, a sports bar, wherever, something, I'm just saying, whatever.
Sure.
And we have people there and we're just recording together and we do a Q&A together. Or even an idea that I think might be fun is for us older folks, we go do a drunk podcast recording and watch a game. Yeah. You were uncertain where that one was going.
When you said older folks, I didn't know where you were going.
So anyway, again, these are just like ideas that are still being thrown around. I've got to figure these things out. But like when I'm talking about guests being on the podcast, when we have guests on, I would like to get questions from people, but the people I'm going to get questions from are those that are subscribed. Does that make sense? So
subscribers provide the fan questions.
There we go. So this is a long way of saying I'm ending this podcast by letting you know the JazzNation is going to another level, but I can only take it to the other level with everyone's help out there. So obviously, if you're listening to this right now, that means you're already a pretty hardcore jazz fan, a hardcore JazzNation follower. I appreciate that, but we're going to the next level. You gotta show some love and appreciation back. So be ready for that. Here's all I'm saying. Excited to take it there. This is all news. I haven't even said this stuff to the co-host here. He didn't know anything about this stuff. So this is all brand new information and it'll be fun and exciting. But yeah, once I have more, other stuff, merch will be on the way and stuff. Merch got to get the merch out there stuff. I know we've done stickers in the past. People love the stickers. We'll get some more stickers out and things like that.
Can I say something about the stickers?
Okay.
They're top tier quality, right? Which I didn't expect anything less. I am befuddled on how many people bought stickers without seeing them. Yeah. That just goes to show that you have a very loyal fan base, and that's applaud to you that people trust you enough to just buy some stickers they haven't even seen.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. Before I even put the new logos out, I just did a thing saying you want your first chance to see the new logos, you gotta buy these stickers, and they sold out within a couple of days. So shout out to everyone that did.
I got stickers too. If anyone's interested in the Will Wonder Pod, I'm gonna put that there. But go ahead.
Appreciate that. All right, now that I've done my whole spiel here, now it's your time for you to do your spiel. Assistant to the house.
Until this gets big, I'm still going to keep my day job. But I'd love to just do this full time. So you guys think about that. But until then, if, like I said, you need your Will Wonder fix, you need basketball fix, come over to the Will Wonder Pod. I do have a YouTube where I do interviews. There's specials on there right now. There's going to be a lot of other random fun stuff that I do on there all around basketball, maybe some comedy stuff. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But on the audio formats, every week it comes out late Tuesday nights, but I let everyone know it's out on Wednesdays. We talk hoops. We talk NFL once the NFL heats up. Every week until August 11th, I am a big hip hop fan. Backwards, as you can see here. I got to get used to that. Huge hip hop fan. It's in my DNA. It's in my blood. And Daniel just disappeared, but I'll keep talking. So every week we celebrate hip hop. It is turning 50 years old this year, so it's very important to me. August 11th, 2023, it turns 50. So every week we celebrate. You good? Every week we celebrate that. And come check us out. Will Wonder Pod, at the Will Wonder Pod on Instagram. If you want to follow me and argue with me, as long as you're not an awful human being that says nasty things, I love to debate on Twitter at DJ Will Wonder on Twitter.
Can I just say, so when I just disappeared for a second, did you hear me say anything?
No, you were gone.
Okay, because it was funny. All I did is I accidentally hit something on my mouse, and all of a sudden my page is like I was gone. I was like to another tab, so I was like,
I just kept it going.
I was like, oh bleep bleep bleep. I thought I had just like screwed up the whole feed of everything. Anyways, so wow.
And we got an hour and 13 minutes. This has been fun.
Shout out to everyone again that participated and hung out with us during this. Appreciate all of you that came onto the YouTube and watched along with us. Again, the audio will be out there. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor FM. I know you guys have told me I got to get on some other stuff, I think like Stitcher and stuff. So I'll work on getting it on just like all the platforms there. But again, make sure you find us on YouTube. I don't know how the hell you search it on YouTube, but if you just go to linktree.com/JazzNation News, all the links for everything are right there for you. Appreciate you guys for listening, for watching. Jazz with the 9th pick. We'll do what we do with it, and we'll be back with another edition of the Jazz Nation podcast soon. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Peace. Now you got to learn how to stop this.